Hello, welcome. So good to see you today. It's time for True Crime in Cambodia. We always have something crazy going on here. Doing it a little bit differently today. Instead of scrolling through everything for the news stories, I've opened a bunch of tabs, which means I'm going to have to go from sharing one tab to sharing the next tab to sharing the next tab. So I don't know if it's going to be better or not. We'll give it a try and see how it works. And we've got Mumsy in the house and Chalet in the house. Thank you so much for being here today. You have so many things you can do with your time, and you choose it to spend it here with me, whether it's live or on replay. So I really appreciate that. Got the handy dandy mosquito zapper ready. Let's make sure it's switched on. It's ready because there are mosquitoes. Alrighty. So I guess we can just get started. No spectacular news. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with one that is a warning. What site can't? Oh, there we go. It's right in the middle. Oops, cancel that. Okay, yeah, you can see it. I got to close the ad. So before we get into the nasty crimes, every year for Valentine's Day, the government does issue announcements, and this year is no different. The ministry appeals to youths to celebrate Valentine's Day with, quote, feelings of love and gratitude for parents, guardians, teachers, spouses, and friends. They try to get away from the romantic love side of things because they know they can't stop Valentine's Day. Of course, businesses, I mean, all the restaurants and hotels and everything, they've all got specials going on for dinner. There's all kinds of flowers and stuff being sold. Here's an example of some bouquets that are sold, chocolates, teddy bears, all that kind of stuff. They say avoid inappropriate activities, as those activities have negative consequences for individuals and for traditional values, customs, and national identity. So, yeah, and there's a whole story on it, but I just thought I'd bring that to your attention that the government does speak out about, it's a Buddhist country. So they don't have separation of church and state here. It's just the church is Buddhist, but they take morality very seriously. What do you guys say? You come for the mosquito zapping. All right. Well, I'm sure there will be some. I don't see one right now. They're hiding. Here's baby. Baby. Come say hello. Here's the baby Wilbur. Hi, baby. Go on. She's looking to make sure that Piggy's not around to attack her. They're mortal enemies. You should be endorsing that tennis racket. They should be paying me. I know. I gotta find someone who can sponsor me. There's not even a brand name on it. All right. Okay, so where are we going to go next? Let me put that one there, and I'll come here and share this tab instead. And I just want to close this other one. Can't. No. All right. Violence flares between a beef vendor and bass addicts, as in music, or bass? I think it's bass, as in music, not bass, as in the fish. Perfect. Call it the Maven. I should mark. There, I got one. Yeah, I should market these as the Maven. the Maven mosquito killer. All right, so let's see what happened between the beef vendor and the base addicts. Police arrested 2 men after tempers rose after an inappropriately loud sound system. This was in Phnom Penh. So it was around 10 o'clock at night. The witnesses described how a vendor of beef took exception to a group of drunkards who were playing loud bass, heavy music in an unsociable manner. Yes, another one bites the dust. After they refused to turn down the volume of their music, the 2 parties began to brawl, causing alarm and confusion, resulting in minor injuries to both parties. After the incident, both parties did not file a complaint with each other, and authorities issued a letter rejecting the complaint and the contract, advising them to return to their respective homes. Yeah. So they didn't get thrown in the clinker. Phnom Penh noise nuisance venue reprimanded. So this is similar, but it's a different one. So here you can see, here's the restaurant. A lot of times restaurants will have some live music. It says that the venue was making neighbors' lives a misery with loud music. So the police were called. They inspected the business location of the restaurant called Nira Pub. I think it's even the same district as the other one. So here's some pictures of the restaurant. Let me double check. You guys are seeing. Oh, you still see the beef vendor. Okay, wait. Share this tab instead. Okay, there we go. No, we should be on it. Too much crime. Oh, we're not even halfway through. Okay, so here's the venue. Here's the police. This guy's smiling. Here they are talking to him. There's another view of the restaurant. So the team found that the location did not have a business permit and was causing noise that affected neighbors. Yeah, you can set up an entire restaurant like this without ever, you just do it. You don't get any business permits. And as long as you don't cause any problems, then nobody cares, right? But they were making noise. So yeah, they got inspected. They did not have a business permit. The team made note and advised the business owner to, number 1, do not use loudspeakers or make loud noises that may disturb neighbors. Number 2, respect and comply with the announcement to implement technical guidelines for controlling noise and vibration from blasting. Number 3, prohibit the use of all types of electronic cigarettes in business locations. Vaping is illegal in Cambodia. A lot of foreigners do it. They don't really crack down on people, but hey, they got a complaint, so they're doing an inspection, so they're just writing them up for everything. So obviously somebody was vaping at the time, so they threw that in there too. Number 4, all types of gambling are prohibited. Number 5, prohibit the use, distribution, trafficking of all kinds of drugs. Do not use public roads as parking lots for the motorbikes or cars of visitors. Yeah, that's a big one. There, one of the things in America, in most Western countries, when you apply for a business permit, they assess whether or not you have parking available for your business. Whether it's like right in front of your business or part of your business property, or maybe you're in a city downtown area, but there is a parking garage nearby. But they'll assess where people will park, and they won't, if there's not enough parking, then they won't grant you your business license, but you can do things with it. Yeah, nobody, even if you were to get a business license, nobody's checking for parking. And the same thing with schools. And so like when these kids are getting out of school, And I mean, it's just a total traffic jam. So if the location owner does not follow the education and guidance and continues to violate the law, then the authorities will take action according to the procedure. Yes, indeed. So next up, share this tab instead. Many injured as a passenger bus careers off the road. Oh, come on. Careens off the road. Okay. You can see it's pretty banged up. It's pretty banged up. And I did look at this one earlier. So this was in Mondulkiri. These 14 people were injured. Nobody died. So that's good. So we're going to break this down a little bit. There's this picture again. Now here's the picture looking down at the bus. So the bus was coming this direction. I think instead of staying on the road, it must have come over here and hit the embankment, which looks like it might be rock, and then skidded into this position. But I think it hit over here. And I'll show you why. There's another picture. There's some people, passengers on the bus. Okay, so now if you look at this picture, the bus is kind of lined up with this embankment, but the road curves right here, right? And the other picture we just looked at would be about where this tree is. Somebody standing there taking a picture of the bus. So this bus was coming around the curve, right? So now we look at this. So this is actually the end of the curve. So it's been coming around a curve this way. Either the driver might have fallen asleep. Maybe something happened with the brakes and he couldn't stop. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe there was another car or something that made him swerve and lose control. But in any case, he was coming around the corner and then smashed into this embankment and then came to a stop here. And I got to tell you, if he was fully alert and there was a mechanical problem and there were no brakes and he's going downhill on this curvy road, maybe he's got up enough speed that you got to see here on this side, on the left side, the embankment is rising. But on the right side, there's a drop off. So if he went down to the next curve and couldn't make that bus would have gone off the lower embankment and rolled, and everyone probably would have died. So while he might have been sleeping or drunk or something like that, if he was alert and there was a brake failure, then making the decision to kind of come off the side of the road on over here to try and stop the bus, thereby then hitting this area and then coming to a stop, he could be a hero that saved lives. Or he could have been drunk or asleep, we don't know. Didn't know Cambodia had buses like that. Moving on up. Yes, indeed, we are moving on up. So next on the list, police officer kills and injures his relatives and himself. Now there's a similar story in another tab that's open. I'm not sure if this is like a follow-up with more details. So we'll look at this one and then remember one, but it could be two. This one is in Tabung Kamum province. So he had an AK-47 rifle. He's a senior military officer. Did in his parents-in-law, injured 3 other relatives. Oh, I think this is a different one. So wow. There's something, but I think there were only 2 people and the shooter in the other story. So this one's got the parents-in-law and 3 other relatives over a family dispute, and then used the gun himself. It was at 6 p.m. He's a major and a deputy chief of the district police. Oh no, that's the person who named the lieutenant, who was 49 years old, who used the AK-47. And the injured victims included his wife, her younger brother-in-law, and a village security guard. So they had 2 children. Oh, wait. Lieutenant Colonel Savanarit married Lekena, okay, who had 2 children from a previous marriage. And by the way, I think up here I was saying it's his younger brother-in-law, not her brother-in-law. Anyway, they had 2 children from a previous marriage. Well, the husband had 2 children from a previous marriage. And they also have a young son from their marriage. And he was saying that the in-laws interfered in their relationship, urging his wife to divorce him because they were often separated when he was working in Krache province while the wife stayed in Tabung Kamum province. On the day of the shooting, parents-in-law called the husband to have a meeting to discuss the divorce at their home. And at the meeting, he refused to divorce his wife, and they tried to force him. According to the police investigation and witnesses, during the argument, he became angry with the parents-in-law for interfering in his relationship, took out his gun, fired about 10 bullets at them, his wife, and the other people who attempted to confiscate the gun from him. After shooting them, he then himself. Wow. And that's the dude, and that's the wife. Look like a fairly normal, you would think they're a totally normal couple. Cambodian couple. Didn't know Cambodia had, okay, everyone's just listening, no comments. So moving on. Oh, so last week we were talking about the mosquito spray, or maybe it was last night. And so here is a picture of mosquito spraying. So I thought I'd show you that. They say that they're going to have a 16-day spraying period for the first campaign. They didn't spray over here with us. There's another one of the spraying. They got this guy with a backpack and this one with the fog machine. Why are they spraying the car? I don't know. Okay, spraying in the parking garages. Spraying inside a hotel, it looks like. This guy's not wearing a mask. Okay, conference room. This looks like the Soka Hotel. Well, these guys are geared up and ready. I think they're having fun. Walking around the Christmas tree. Da 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 da. So there you go, mosquito spraying. Crazy, yeah. Yeah, crime happens everywhere, but we're looking at the ones in Cambodia. Phnom Penh gangsters given punishment, haircut, forced to apologize. We always got to have one of these every week, right? So here they are with their haircuts. Oh, they were doing these wheelies. They were out doing wheelies. 5:40 p.m. The police encountered a gang riding motorcycles on public roads in Phnom Penh. An 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 17-year-old. They were brought to the district headquarters for education and administrative discipline by shaving their hair. They also confiscated one motorcycle and kept it for 3 months. There you go. Power, enjoying. Yeah, they enjoyed it while it lasted. Okay, next up, couple arrested over a sex trade run from a salad shop. A salad shop. So I guess this is the salad shop. Mak Sokmi aided the police in inspecting her shop. And so the husband and wife duo, here's the husband, here's the wife. They own a popular papaya salad shop. They were arrested for their involvement in the illicit prostitution. So they were raided about 9 p.m. on Sunday night. Police spent many months monitoring the shop and keeping tabs on the young women's involvement in the place of business. After collecting the evidence, Anti-Human Trafficking and Juvenile Protection Police reported it to the prosecutor at the court and sought permission to inspect the shop. Basically, they got a warrant. Okay. And the two owners were arrested. They're accused of operating an illegal prostitution business under the guise of selling papaya salad. 9 of the young women working there, they arrested 9 of the young women working there that were posing as shop staff, and 5 of them turned out to be underage. They also seized a notebook of the guests who had indulged in the activities, and condoms were seized. 44 and 22 years old. And they both face a jail term from 7 to 10 years if convicted. There you go. Only in Cambodia. Papaya salad. Want some papaya salad? Edward joyriding. They were not Edward. Tossing some salads, all right. No. All right. Young lout suppressed after Phnom Penh buffet rumble. This caught my attention. I have not read the story. Looks like we've got some security cam footage of some people getting into a fight out on the street. This is a street. The curbs are painted yellow and black like that. 3:45 a.m. What kind of buffet restaurant is open? Was the restaurant closed, but they were just in front of it? Because I don't know about any restaurants open at 3:45 a.m. in Phnom Penh. It says the violent incident was caused by 2 groups of young men armed with knives and stones who attacked and threw stones at each other at the High Life buffet shop. Oh, they say 03:45 here at the beginning of the story, but here it says approximately 4:30 p.m. So it's the afternoon. This should be 15:45. If you want to use military time, it's 15:45 because it's 4:30 p.m. on the same day. Police forces went to the scene to conduct an investigation and arrested 7 gang members. Here's the police and the police. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How much you want to bet that they are going to get haircuts? Let's see. How old are they? 23, 22, 20, 20, 17. Oh, and then number 6 is 20, then 17, number 7. Evidence that was seized included 2 folding knives along with some other materials. Under expert interrogation, the 7 gang members confessed that they had indeed committed the above violence. Indeed, again, because they were angry that the other party had thrown stones at their group. What do we learn about stones? Sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me, right? Well, these are real stones getting thrown. After drug tests, one of them tested positive for drugs. They were charged and sent to court for legal action. Does not mention the haircuts, but I would bet money that haircuts were involved. Yeah, they're selling papayas. Oh my goodness. Next up, ANA, that's the Apsara National Authority, deals with issues caused by monkeys. Monkeys in Angkor Wat. Here's a picture of the rogue monkeys crossing the road. Why did the monkeys cross the road? To get to the other side, to steal a banana. So growing issues are being caused by monkeys. And they're urging the public to avoid interacting with the monkeys, refrain from feeding them, and they're discouraging touching or playing with the monkeys. Because the numbers have significantly increased in recent times, and some of them have become aggressive, often jumping on tourists to grab food or personal items such as cell phones and cameras, hats, sunglasses. This behavior has been exacerbated by a small group of individuals who regularly feed the monkeys, hoping to take pictures for social media to earn money through platforms like YouTube or Facebook. To address these concerns, Apsara Authority is working closely with various professional bodies within the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. A series of meetings will be held to develop the effective measures moving forward, such as maybe placing signs that say, do not feed the monkeys. Get to the other side. That's right. Where the grass is always greener. Okay, next up in pictures, lucky escape as Phnom Penh emoliates, as a car, I'm sorry. Lucky escape as car emoliates in Phnom Penh. Now, I am going to share with you. I looked it up before because it really bothered me when they used emolate. Share this tab instead. Okay. What do we see here? Emulate. Kill or offer as a sacrifice, especially by burning. Okay? So if somebody lights themselves on fire as a political statement or something, they have self-immolated, right? It does not mean spontaneous combustion. That is not what it means. It's not just something burning. In fact, it doesn't even have to be by burning. It's just especially by burning. The key part is that there is a kill or offer as a sacrifice. So let's come back over here to this story. So first of all, the word immolate, no. The car did not offer itself up as a sacrifice. Okay? So the car did not immolate. The car combusted. Please get your headlines right. 4 people were lucky to escape from a SUV. Oh, come on. Grammar. A and an. A is in front of a consonant. An is in front of a vowel. However, there are some tricky words that it boils down to the pronunciation of the word. So university starts with a U, but the pronunciation is a Y. University. So it's a university. Anything that starts with an S, It's an E. It gets an an. An SUV, not a SUV. Okay, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. It spontaneously burst into flames. Thank you. That is correct. 4 people were lucky to escape from it. That is correct. Very nice. 10:50 p.m. Blah, 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 Phnom Penh. There it is. According to sources from the scene just before the incident, a black Ford Raptor was seen driving along the road at a moderate speed. When it arrived at the scene, witnesses heard a loud bang from the car's engine. There was smoke and flames. Then they saw 3 men and women get out of the car. There you go. Wow. Firefighters were called, and the blaze was extinguished. 4x4. Oh, the blazing 4x4. All right. It was caused by an electrical short circuit. No one was injured. Okay, sorry for that little rant. Sometimes, I just, yes, mother. Sometimes I just gotta vent. All right, next up. Online lotion tycoon signs contract to stop activities that affect history, art, culture, tradition, religious beliefs, national identity, and people, as well as the style of dress during public broadcasts that affect the honor and dignity of women. So that says a lot, right? Now, we already mentioned that there is no separation of church and state. Cambodia is a Buddhist kingdom, and they take morality very seriously. So what all this boils down to is that she was dressing sexy to sell her lotions. And there she is, thumbprint. And if you can sign, great. But even if you sign, you got a thumbprint. That's the thing, thumbprint. Everybody's got to do their thumbprint. Love Ria is her alias. She signed a contract to stop her provocative actions, including using the symbol of Princess Indra Devi, revered saint, and other ancestors of the nation. Do they have a picture here for you? There's the whole contract. Let's come back over here again real quick. Indra Devi Khmer images. There you go. So, not exactly sure how she was using it, but this is Indra Devi. If you notice on something like this, they are wearing like a skin color cloth, right? Or in this one, they wear kind of a twisty tube top kind of thing to cover up. But the actual statues don't have any cover up on the top half, right? So I don't know how much she was revealing or what she was doing as she sold her lotions. I'll go back like this. Go back to all. Yeah, anyway. Are we here? Lotions? No. That's coming up next. Share this tab instead. So now you got an idea. Dun, 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 dun. I kind of read that. Her style of dress. She signed the contract to stop the activities. She promised to prepare a public apology video clip and acknowledge her wrongdoings and promised not to do such activities again. Again, a lot of times, misgivings, wrongdoings are handled outside of the courts. They don't flood the courts with things that can be managed without going to court. I think we know the West, in America in particular, loves going to court for anything. There's a famous quote about you could sue over a ham sandwich if that's what you wanted to do. Doesn't mean you're going to win, but you can bring the suit, right? And here, I have to admire the fact that they actually do a lot of restitution, compensation, re-education, as they would call something like this. Making a public apology, signing a contract. You're not going to do it again. They'll handle it like that without going to court, and that's a good thing. So, next up. I saw this headline when I was opening these tabs for you guys, and I am very interested to find out what happened in this story. Louts attack Phnom Penh monks. So I think this might just be a random picture of monks at a pagoda, not necessarily the ones involved in the story. Could be just a file photo. So police are seeking the 3 yobs who beat monks at a Phnom Penh pagoda. The shocking incident occurred at 1 a.m. in the compound of this particular Wat Sambo Mia. And so a pagoda or a Wat, a Buddhist church, will actually have like a city block or something, and within it they've got various like temples and houses for the monks and storage and whatever. So it is like a compound. A compound is a very good word for the way that everyone's the same. They're set up like that, and they lock the doors around 8 o'clock. So like if you don't have any place to sleep and you don't want to sleep on the street, they will give you shelter, but you have to go inside and they lock the gates, and then you're not allowed out until later. So the fact that this incident occurred around 1 a.m. is interesting. According to the monk's statement, the victim was monitoring a burning tree. So there was obviously the monks are victims. So there was a monk that was monitoring a burning tree. Suddenly, a group of 3 teenagers riding an unmarked motorbike arrived at the temple. Okay, I'm going to question at this point in the story whether it was at 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. Because as I said, they wouldn't be driving a motorcycle in the pagoda. The pagoda would be locked down at 1 a.m. I don't know, maybe. The group of 3 teenagers on a motorbike arrived at the temple. They shouted at the monk, "Hey, come closer, please." The teenagers then attacked the monk, and when 2 other monks came to intervene, they also attacked them. Then the teenagers fled the scene. A short while later, 2 military police officers, that means the gendarmerie, arrived at the scene and told the 3 monks to wait until morning. Okay, so maybe it was at 1 a.m. I don't know. Was the burning tree outside? Do they have a picture of the burning tree? It's not these. It's not there. No other pictures. Was the burning tree outside of the closed gates? It's not making. There's something missing in this story. So when morning came, sneaky boogers. When morning came, the 3 monks went to file the complaint. After receiving the complaint, they arrived at the temple and searched for one suspect. They took him to the police headquarters for questioning, and they're searching for the other 2 who are on the run. Well, I would like more details in this story. I can tell you this much, having worked for this particular newspaper as a sub-editor, that a lot of times the Cambodian story has a lot more details, but because when you're talking about the printed version, I always said, like, well, let's have, one version for online and then the mini version for the newspaper, because there's not as much space for the crime beat in the newspaper. So they've got to shorten down the stories, and usually there's a lot more details in the original Cambodian. I will say that. All right, death toll in Phnom Penh nightclub blaze rises to 4. So there was a nightclub, looked like this. And I'll tell you one thing about nightclubs: they don't have windows and they don't have exits. So let's see. The Midnight Premiere nightclub occurred about 10:45 a.m. It took 3 hours to extinguish the flames. The victims were all men who worked at the nightclub. They have not determined the cause of the fire yet. But they say, but workers repairing the club are suspects. According to the police investigation, the fires could have been caused by welders who were hired by the owner of the club to fix metal inside the club on Wednesday morning. But as soon as the fire started, the welders fled. Well, I guess you could say that maybe as soon as the fire started, they might have been able to grab a fire extinguisher, which they exist in Cambodia. But I mean, you're welding. You should have a fire extinguisher or a hose or a bucket of water or some fire blankets or something, right? So you could try to put it out, right? But if it's an uncontrolled fire, wouldn't the first thing you're supposed to do be to get out of the building? But by fled, I guess they mean they actually left. They didn't just stand outside, they disappeared. They've summoned the owner of the club for questioning and about the identity of the welders. Said that the victims were sleeping at the club as they worked late every night. 2 were found dead in their rooms. The injured were rescued by firefighters. It's a very popular nightclub in that district. Says it started on the ground floor. Firefighters were able to extinguish the blaze 2.5 hours later, but it's completely destroyed. Local authorities intervened to save the victims, and police used many fire trucks to put out the fire. And there were 5 injured victims taken to a hospital, and the 3 bodies are at a pagoda. So there you go. Oh, here's some images. Wow. That's a pretty big plume of smoke. Black smoke, everything's burning. White smoke, it's getting put out. But everybody's stopping to look at it. Wow. Total destruction. Sad. You see, these would have been, so there would have been couches around these little tables. Like a little VIP area here, another little VIP area here. Typical. A bicycle. Is this a bicycle? No, that might be somebody's motorcycle as well. Like a couple motorcycles. kitchen area, maybe. Wow. So sad. Too bad. So sad. You, no windows, lots of papayas. Not seeing it. It says I'm sharing. Wait. Okay. Well, you already heard the story, so I'll just let me go back up to the top and you can just look at the pictures. That's what our Cambodian firefighters look like. So while it's ablaze, very tall plume of smoke. And you had all these pictures. Baby. These are the like VIP areas that I was talking about. Here again, here and here. There's the motorcycles I was talking about. As I said, it's probably a kitchen. All right. There you go. All right. We only have 2 more. So share this tab instead. Oh, here's the other one that I said might be. We'll see. Shoots 2, injures 3, plus himself. So this might be the one we already talked about. Here's a picture. That's probably the officer. Tabong Kamum. Okay, yeah, it is. It is. So we already talked about this one. So that's it. That's as far as I got to opening tabs. I can check out one more page, see if there was anything. Here they are. Here's motorcycle gangsters getting their heads shaved. Not shaved completely, but shaved Larry Curly Moe style. Look at the way this. Let me click on this one. Look at the way this guy's had his hair shaved, a spot shaved. This guy's getting a spot shaved. Just look at him looking at this guy. He's next. He's next. It's like, what? Look what you got me into. Making them do the calisthenics too. Good. Well, here they are when they're first caught. They all still have their hair. Yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. So we can end on that one. Hope you enjoyed the crazy crime stories in Cambodia. Not so much mosquito action tonight. They weren't buzzing. They're around. I'm actually I think they're under my desk. Let me give a swipe underneath the desk. No. Didn't get anything. But whatever. So tomorrow, movie games, movie trivia. Oh, I had some comments from my students. They're like, yeah, we saw the movie one, and but they're all old movies. I wanted to say, yeah, because we're Gen X. But I thought, I said, well, let me see if I can find something that's maybe like comic book movies or something. I don't know. I didn't promise them anything, but I thought I'd check that out because I don't know, movies. Maybe I'll do some general trivia instead of movie trivia. I don't know, but I'll be here. This week I keep missing up my day, messing up the days, missing days. But hey, don't forget that love transcends time and space. So wherever and whenever you are watching this, I love you. I do. That's for sure. So I hope to see you again tomorrow at the same bat time, same bat channel. Good night. Thank you. I plan on having a good night's sleep. I did sleep well last night, so that was good. And I've got off. I put that on my arms and my feet, a little by my ears, because sometimes you're trying to sleep and you hear them buzzing. And then if I do get bit, I've got the Benadryl spray. So baby wants to go outside. As long as I'm up, baby wants to go outside. The minute I go to bed, she sleeps on the bed with me. No problem. As long as I'm up, then baby's up. Look at all those pretty flowers from Chalet. Thank you. Hugs to Mumsy. Hugs to everybody. So until tomorrow, catch you later.